I don't understand. Is all you do about abortion? I see reproductive freedom, but what does that really mean?
Abortion is not at all the only subject that we deal with. We deal with things like emergency contraception, access to contraception, and comprehensive sex education. I don't know how much you're familiar with any of these.
I don't really know about any of those things.
Okay, well, they're all...
Sounds good.
Great, good. They're all really big discussions right now, I guess, that we're involved in. Good. So I guess, Christina, anything?
Yeah, I mean, I can talk about access to contraception. It's a big thing these days. Not all women have access to it, and legislation is kind of gradually like tearing down,
I heard something
rights.
About shipping away.
Yeah, well, the recent decision about partial birth abortion, which is it's kind of complicated, but basically there's it's a certain type of abortion that they're prohibiting that cuts down additionally on women's rights. So we're kind of fighting that right now. There's access to accurate sex education in schools.
Oh, yeah, sex education.
Yeah. I mean, you might have gone through that. Some interesting, unfactual things yourself in high school or college. But yeah, we're working on that issue right now too.
So I have another question.
Yeah.
When I was going on my tour when I was a freshman, I heard about this other organization called Badgers for Pro-Choice Activism, and I'm just not really sure why I would be involved with SYRF if there's this whole other cool organization, and they have tote bags and they have jumpsuits and they give out condoms all the time. And Gloria Steinem came and spoke for them, and I'm just like, why would I be involved with you guys if I can be involved with them?
Do you want to start? Okay. Well, we feel that religion and spirituality has a huge thing to do with reproductive justice. We believe that religion has been rooted in the discussion on reproductive justice for a while, considering that legislation is influenced by religion. It's been cutting down on women's rights a lot, and we need a religious and spiritual response to that, definitely. It needs to happen from young people who are going to carry this on to generations to come.
And also, just to add, in response to the other, a lot of people see, as you may already know, religion as part of the pro-life, as they call
Pat
themselves.
Robertson. Yeah.
Right, exactly. And so we want to respond to them and speak to them in their language, sort of like in response to them. I'm doing a really bad job of talking today.
Can I say one more thing? Also, in terms of like jumpsuits and such, we have a lot of really cool like tote bags. We have a lot of cool stickers. We even have like temporary tattoos. It's pretty sweet. So I mean, there's that stuff you can. We also offer SYRF, the national organization in Washington, offers internships with stipends. So that's you can get paid to be an intern for them, put on events on campus. So.
Do you ever work with the other organization?
You mean with the national organization or
with the Badgers for Pro-Choice?
Oh yeah, no. Coalition building on campus is really important, and they can do some secular stuff that we might not participate in. But on most issues, we can definitely collaborate, and more people power is great.
So what should I do? I want to sign up. What should I do?
Definitely. Well, we have an email list you can sign up for. So
I don't want you to flood my inbox.
No, not at all.
Emails already.
Oh no, not at all. We can email you about like group meetings and stuff. Oh yeah, and you can also always, if you don't want to be in the group, you can always just email us and we will take you off. Definitely.
Awesome.
And yeah, we're going to do some legislative action also in a neighboring city pretty soon, so we'll let you know about that.
Very cool. Sweet. All right. Thank you.
Thanks for stopping by.
All right. Oops.
Wait, we want you to stay up here.
Before you put the mic down, tell us how that felt.
I felt pretty good.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Good job, Christina. Yeah, I was a little fumbly there.
Good. Yeah, that felt pretty good.
So what did you come into, knowing what your scenario was going to be, what did you come in, what expectations did you come in with, and how did it differ?
I guess we pretty much assumed that the person coming up to us at a pro-choice rally would probably be pro-choice and just wondering about the role of religion in it. And so like we kind of tailored our what we focused on to that.
Okay.
We actually did a lot of like thinking when we were over there about like really what religion has to do with it, and we really found that religion has been a part of this discussion from the very beginning. That's part of the reason why there's so much opposition to it, and so there needs to be a religious and spiritual like counteraction to that. So And we feel on the Oberlin campus where we are, a lot of people there. I feel like 99% of people are going to be pro-choice. We don't have pro-life opposition, but people who would want to sign up are really scared of the whole religious spiritual aspect. So we feel like this could be a really good way to like connect that to people. People be like, oh yeah, like religion has a lot to do with legislation. Like that makes sense. And talking. Like opening a religious and spiritual discussion about this is really important.
I was thinking that you were going to throw in, and you did a beautiful job without throwing it in, was the separation of church and state argument, which is something that at Oberlin I feel like we should really, I want to talk more about doing a lot around that. And I think based on the conversations we've had specifically, it's such a liberal environment, but really this is applicable for all environments, something good to also incorporate that makes SYRF special, and that makes the Religious Coalition special.
And then I would say something that we discussed a lot yesterday, and I think I mentioned this earlier, but just to reiterate it, in talking about the discussion of separation of church and state, I think it's helpful to say, right now legislation is guided by one dominant religion, as opposed to making room for all religions or all morals and ethical beliefs, no matter from where they are derived. So helping people to understand that you don't have to be religious to want your moral and ethical internal guide to be part of your process, and you don't want that process, that internal process, to be limited by legislation. So just helping people to understand it's making room for religion, more religions, as opposed to the one dominant religion that impacts a lot of religion, more religions as opposed to the one dominant religion that impacts a lot of our legislature.
The only other thing that I noticed was that Emily kind of gave you this option to follow her lead with like the email thing and just like doing that instead of like you responded with like, oh, well, we won't, like that's great, but also then being like, oh, well, if you don't want to be on our email list, why don't I give you my business card and you can contact us? Because I know also, like, again, especially at schools, like, I remember freshman year, I signed up for like 80 different groups, and I still haven't figured out how to delete some of those things. And I still get updates, and it drives me crazy. So I just don't anymore. I just don't sign up for things because it's annoying. So finding other ways to, or hey, we have a flyer for our next event. Why don't you take that now? Or whatever, or look for a flyer. Just other avenues. And I think it was on the spot, so whatever. But
and some other, while we're talking about messaging around email lists, the other thing that you might want to keep in mind is your email list is very low traffic, so you can say we really only send out one email a month. And that's the only way, or that's one of the only ways we keep in touch with our members, and it's just, we're really just trying to build this community at Oberlin and really kind of encourage people. I think offering business cards and flyers is a really good thing if someone's like really not into signing the email list, but whenever we're tabling in a conference, if someone is mildly interested, my goal immediately goes to getting their information on my sign-up sheet so that then this is bigger than us. This needs to continue. We need to be able to get in touch with them beyond just us being here in Oberlin, Ohio.
So the other thing I would add, this isn't something that I said before in my presentation, but in my part of the presentation, but it's important, we all have big goals, especially, in the conversations about reproductive justice. But it's important when you enter a situation that you think about what your personal goals are for that situation. So, you're going to a rally. What do I hope happens? Do I hope to be energized? Do I hope to be reinvigorated? Do I hope to meet someone new? And if I met that someone new, what would I like to happen? Just to kind of make these things concrete so that it can help you to think about what to emphasize. So like if you knew, oh gosh, I hope I make a real connection with someone that I don't know going in, you can think about, well, I better be sure to figure out how I would continue to connect with that person. And then that tells you, okay, I got to have my connection, my action message like down pat so it's ready. Just really break your expectations down to realistic things, because we all know, we all have expectations when we go into situations. So just kind of getting yourself to articulate them and then think about what then you need to do to make that happen for yourself. It's not just going and being present, but then you need to be able to say the things that would encourage that happening, and you need to be able to follow up with people in the way that would make that happen. So it might just help to say, before you walk out the door, like, okay, what do I expect from this? And then if I expect that, what do I need to say or do to make that happen?
This is really dorky. Here comes the dork side of me. Sometimes I say to myself, POP, purpose, outcome, procedure. Someone once taught me that, and it's very dorky and very sort of like businessy, but I find it helpful, and if it helps you, now you have that tool.
I'm all about acronyms.
All right.
Pop. All right.
All right. Anything else? Anyone wanted to add?
Oh, I just wanted to say the first SYRF event I attended at Brown University. The first SYRF event that I attended at Brown University, where I first met Emily, I remember the first thing she said was, I only send out one email per month.
And it's true, right?